different knife cuts that you're gonna be responsible for. Culinary 2, you've seen this before, but I wanna show you to refresh your memory. So you're gonna have a trash bowl, and this is where my scraps are going to go, my potato ends. If potatoes are not put in water, they start to brown. All right, we don't want that. So I'm also gonna have a bowl that someone wrapped very nice and tight. A bowl of water that I'm gonna put my cut potatoes in so they don't oxidize and turn brown. So there's also these little keys that we have, all right? And I'm gonna be kind of referring to this throughout the process. It's nice, either you have your worksheet pulled up that you're gonna do for me Culinary 1 or the worksheet that you just did Culinary 2. That is what's going to help guide you. The first step when we're doing these knife cuts is to square off your potato, okay? How we do that is bear claw. Fingers, not like this. They can easily be cut. On and curve. The knife is always gracing my knuckles, all right? Gripping my knife, 3 fingers on the handle, 2, my pointer and my thumb are on the bolster, right above the bolster. Bear claw, square off. This is the first step no matter what. So, I squared off, I need to go to my flat side so now I have some stability. Square off again, and I know that you're gonna think, oh my gosh, this is like a ton of waste. But you can chop these up and put this in your mashed potatoes, you can put it in some soup, you could use it in a stock to give flavoring, so it's not necessarily going to waste. This is what we have to do. Square it off, down and through, in my trash bowl, turn, square it off. It's easy to know once you've squared it off because you can see the actual potato. I'm gonna cut my ends off. Now I know, this is a big chunk, so like you can set this to the side and rough chop it for your mashed potatoes later, okay? So if you want to save it, put it in your water bowl. All right, this is a pretty close square. I'm gonna trim it up just a touch to try to get it a little more even, okay? And all I'm trying to do is make it the perfect square. At least it's really more of a rectangle actually, but we're trying to make it very close to perfect. I think that's pretty good. Do y'all think that's pretty good? Okay, the first cut I'm gonna do is a julienne. Culinary 2, someone tell me the size of a julienne.
1/8 by 1/8 times 2, correct?
Fine, Julian. Yes, 1/8 by 1/8 by 2. So when we're doing these, they are in 3D form. So it's gonna look, this one right here is the julienne. Right there. So that's the size we're going for. So if I'm gonna do a 1/8, that's a julienne. Does anybody know the size of a Battonet? It's a fourth. It's a 1/4 of an inch matchstick. We're gonna start with the Battonet. A 1/4 of an inch matchstick. So what you have to do, you're gonna bear claw. You have to go in. It's plank matchstick cube. Do you remember that from last year? Plank matchstick cube. You're gonna go in. You go a 1/4 of an inch width, and you can look at your sheet as a reference. You can get a ruler out to help you, and you go down and through. And I should have pretty close to a 1/4 of an inch plank. All right, then what? I gotta make 1/4 of an inch matchsticks. So, sometimes y'all will show me this. Is that the correct Battonet? No, the correct Battonet has to be 3D. This is too thin. So I'm gonna make a 1/4 of an inch plank. Do you see the difference? Yes. Y'all see the difference? Okay, so this one's going in scrap. I'm gonna keep going. Battonet, 1/4 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. This one doesn't really fit, so I'm gonna toss it. So I have 3 1/4 of an inch matchstick Battonet. So if I were to take this and compare it, am I pretty close to that orange Battonet above it? Pretty close. Okay. Now, does anybody know what other cut comes from the Battonet? There's a dice that comes from the Battonet. Does anybody know in Culinary 2? It's the small dice, okay? Sorry if I jumped the gun on that. Small dice. So what you're gonna do, hopefully you'll have more than one, But you're gonna make 1/4 of an inch cubes for their small dice. And remember, you should have your reference sheet in front of you. You're gonna make cubes all the way down, all right? And now I have my small dice. Everybody see that? Small dice. Okay, let's move on to julienne. I said that was, this one, it's 1/8 of an inch, all right? How big is my plank gonna be? It's gonna be 1/8 of an inch. So I'm kind of looking at that for reference because not many of us know 1/8 of an inch off the top of our heads. Plank. Now what?
Matchstick.
Matchstick. So 1/8 of an inch matchstick. So I'm just going down and through, down and through, down and through, and I'm just looking at it. I'm just looking at it. I'm looking at my reference point, and I'm making my juliennes. Okay, making my matchsticks. All right, that one's not good. I'm chunking it. So I think this one's pretty good. Here's a julienne. A little big, but kind of close. You see it? All right. So, does anybody know what cut comes from the julienne? It's the brunoise, the brunoise. And what that is a 1/8 of an inch dice. So I'm just gonna get a couple of my juliennes, and I'm going to make an 1/8 of an inch cube. That is the brunoise, okay? That is our brunoise, and we're gonna have all of these little brunoise cubes, okay? This one's stuck together, it looks like a lot, but all the little brunoise cubes, okay? All right. So, and if you can see, I have them on my plate. I'm on my tray. This is how I'm gonna grade you. Then fine julienne is 1/16. This one, it's this one right here. It's this one. It's very small. So this is so paper thin. Down and through. I'm gonna do one more plank just to see if nope. That's gonna happen. Just chunk it, it's fine. Then try to square it off, get the rest of that down. I would say, in my opinion, this fine julienne is one of the hardest to do. Okay, 1/16. This is very, very, very tiny. So 1/16 matchsticks. And then what do you think? The fine brunoise comes from the fine julienne, and that is a 1/16 inch cube. So you're just gonna stack these up. Well, save a few of them. And you're gonna do very, very small 1/16 inch cubes. And I'm telling you, they are like microscopic. Do you see it? And yeah, it's like minced garlic. Also, you might use a fine julienne, like if you were gonna garnish a soup dish with like fresh carrots, you might garnish it like this on top with your fine julienne carrots. It's just gonna be more presentable. So that's those. You are gonna have to do a large dice and a medium dice, but you're gonna need another potato for that because this is not gonna get us there. This is a large dice right here. What I don't want you doing is saying, what was that? Oh. What I don't want you doing is saying, oh, I can make it. Oh, I trimmed it, I made it. No, I need to see you plank, matchstick, cube. It's the same thing. If the large dice is 3/4 of an inch, you plank 3/4 of an inch, matchstick 3/4 of an inch, cube at 3/4 of an inch. Does that make sense? Does anybody have questions? Bryce, did I say something funny?
No, I'm talking to my mother.
Okay, just making sure.